Hello again to my next YouTube tutorial, and this time I'm gonna show you how I edited this. Some disclosure first, I didn't get paid for this video, but I got paid for the spot for YBY. And this video is not sponsored, but there are affiliate links down below, so if you buy something I get a little bit of a something. I don't know yet, so we'll see. And let's start right away. So we're in Premiere now. So what you see here is the YBY spot, and it's already rendered out, so we can just review it. If we look closely, there are not that many scenes. One for the opening and should be interesting, so the people stop scrolling, so it's called pattern interrupt. And this is the animation part. Then we got this one where the people are celebrating, yoo-hey! And then this part, and of course the cork shot. This might be the one that most of you are interested in, so we're gonna discuss how I did that. And this one is actually more interesting than you might think. And yeah, dipping in, coming out, and that's all. Okay, so let's get into After Effects. There we are. So now we are inside the comp with the 3 bottles, and you can see they're just spinning around. And actually you need 3 different states of the bottle, or 2 different states of the bottle. We need the bottle closed. You can see it right here. It's closed with the cap still on. And then we need the second bottle that is opened and the cork is outside already. So you can see the transition between those two. Here it's the cap. And if I move frame per frame, you see that it's simply shifting to the next bottle without the cork. And the cork I photographed, as you saw in the filming part. And now we have the chance to animate it out. So this is the moment. Pop! The cork is flying out with a lot of motion blur because it's fast. And we can see there's the fluid coming out of here. That's a plugin called, what was your name? Springy, or no, not Springy. It's a plugin called Splash. That is, you can generate this kind of fluid effect. It's a 2D effect, so it's scalable. And yeah, you can do this with Splash. And that's how I did the animation. Basically, you can see the word is being revealed behind the blob, and it's only a scaling effect. So, and then they're jumping out those little bubbles and moving around with Randomatic 2, because they're just wiggling a little on its place. Because doing it by hand would take much more time, and that's what we do with all the other bottles too. Let's go to Premiere. So we got the Yeah Baby Yeah, and you can see there's the blob is moving around, and in front there are those bubbles. I animated then a little, so they're coming out of the bottle and going to different places because it's more interesting, and then they're moving around there and getting bigger and smaller. And this animation is done with another plugin that's called Super Morph. It's not Ultimate, it's Super. And it shapes the YBY logo, and then we jump into this scene. So let's get into this scene. Okay. So this scene was planned a little different than it looks now. You can see I took a particular and threw some particles from the right over it to make it a little more interesting. In the original state, this picture behind wasn't there. So this was the first version I gave to the client, and he said, it's okay, but it's not interesting enough. And often a client is right. Sometimes it's better to rethink what you did. When the client doesn't like it, it means think about it again. And he wanted to have a little more party. So I gave him more party and included this dancing scene on behind. It's only the scene, it's masked in, so we have a mask and that's all. We have the background. This was how it was originally, and this is with the background, and I just pulled a mask to shape this party. The next shot is a simple shot. It's done how it's filmed, so we can see the lights in the background, so it gives a little of this party feeling. And wrote in the celebrate because that's a keyword that he wanted to have, the celebrate live. So this is a cork shot as I keyed it and animated it. It's just with a little speed ramping, and I put it in position so it's not jumping around all over the place, because you saw how I did it with the driller. We only do the up-down shot from the bottle and then put in the fluid. And then we do the turning, a smooth transition to the next shot for the background, and another splash from the bottom to play as if it's coming with the cork. And that's the cork shot. So, little break here. The Björn of yesterday forgot to mention something that's very important if you ever do a sect commercial. When you show the cork and you open it, you have to instantly work with the cork, because this looks like this now. I filmed it 2 or 3 months ago, and it's enough. If you even wait half of an hour or even 50 minutes, the cork will deform, because it looks like it's cut off a string, or it's a whole stick, and then it cuts off and get put into the bottle. And I think that's probably how they do cork it. I don't know it. I could check it probably, but it would take time. So I'm sure it's from a string, and the cork deformed. And you can check how the cork really looked. It looked like this. And as you can see, it's unproportionally. And I opened the bottle and I filmed it 1 day later, and the client said, I don't like the cork because it's deformed. And he's absolutely right. So what I did is I took the puppet tool and animated it a little. And that's what came out. And then he was happy. So we got a cork that didn't look really good anymore, but we made it with the puppet tool and I deformed it a little so it looks like the original cork again. So, moving on. So, the next one is this. Originally, this one looked a lot different because it's not, you can see this is a background footage, and first it looked like this. That's what I did first. And they said they don't like the glass on the tissue. And when they said it again, if the client says it doesn't like it, you should rethink what you did wrong, because the client is right. He's paying you the bills, so he's right. And sometimes there are projects you don't like to do how the client was, but you have to. In the end, you don't show it in your show reel, but you do what the client wants you to. And in this case, again, it helped a lot because I looked for another footage and rethought how I could do this shot a little bit more impressive. And that's what came out with this. The footage. And I simply separated it, the glass and the bottle separate with a tracking of the mask, and that's the result. I'm happy with it. And the rest is quite simple. We are zooming in and we are switching to the probe shot where I dip into the fluid, and then simply transitioning out 3 glasses animated to their points, a table comes in, and the bottles in the end, and that's the loop. That's all. So that's how I made it. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate, write it in the comments. I'll answer as fast as I can, and I'd love if you give me a like and subscribe, and maybe watch my headphone video tutorial, because I want to do the behind the scenes of the editing part. So, thank you for watching. So, Aufnahme YBY beginnt jetzt. Nicht. Jetzt.